Hiya and welcome back to Bad Hair Adventures. Kind of a Mary adventure takeover. I just wanted to do like a quick gear comparison, old versus new, since I've been slowly replacing my very old kit. I've got a 21-year-old rucksack and a 21-year-old pair of boots. So I thought I'd do an old versus new. So yeah, we'll see how we go. So the first thing I want to talk about is the rucksack. So back when I was 15 and needed some gear for Duke of Edinburgh, I went out and bought this. This is a Trail Adventure Equipment 70-litre pack. Now, as far as we can see, Trail Adventure Equipment, that doesn't exist anymore. Outside of resale websites like eBay and things, you can't find any company information or an existing website or anything like that. So I can only assume that they are no more. So I traipsed around Wales with this beauty. It's quite weighty compared to the new bag I have, which is the Osprey. At the time, obviously, I didn't know that you could get lighter packs or anything like that. This is just the one I bought. In hindsight, it's quite weighty. It's quite long. It's probably more for a man in terms of fit, although you can adjust the back. It's got like these padded sections so you don't get bruises on your back. What it doesn't have is the extra mesh panel to stop you sweating, which I actually quite like. It's nice to have a bit of airflow around your back so that by the end of the day you don't have one wet back through every layer of clothes, especially if it's cold. That's not what you want. It seems to be quite adjustable. It's got the whole lid comes off and can be adjusted, which I suppose is quite a good thing, because if you've got extra stuff in your bag and you can't get it over, you can adjust it in various different places. And obviously a sort of standard pocket at the back. There's no pocket on the inside, just lots of dust. It's got quite, for such a big bag, it's got quite a small opening. Inside it doesn't have any pockets or anything, it's just a bag. And then when you get down to the bottom, where you can put your sleeping bag or whatever, this divider it's permanent. You can't remove it or open it up or anything. But this has got quite a big opening, so I could fit my current Snugpack Elite 4 easily in that, which I can't do in the Wren, unfortunately. It's just the opening's just that little tiny bit too small. I probably have to upgrade to like a down bag or something to be able to get it in, which I'm not going to do anytime soon. It's got these zippy side pockets. Back when I was 15, I didn't know what a dry bag was, so for waterproofing I literally used bin bags and shopping bags. So plastic bags on the side and a bin bag in the middle, and then a bin bag around whatever was in the bottom of it. It's got this removable kind of, it's not removable, it's just adjustable actually, I tell a lie. Front pocket, and then these sort of little loops if you want to add anything else in, which is quite good because then you can get stuff in behind here, and obviously put your pocket and anything else you want to add on, like maybe hang cups or rubbish or whatever. You've got these little loops. Yeah, it's a Walker 70, Trail Adventure Equipment Walker 70, which doesn't exist anymore. So this is like vintage walking equipment, backpacking equipment. It's pretty grubby inside. I hiked in a lot of different weathers in Wales. I mean, if you know Wales, you know that the weather can turn really quickly and you get all sorts. I walked in all weathers: snow, rain, sun, everything, mist, rain, everything. But it's done me well, and actually, to be honest, it's still a workable rucksack. It's just weighty and it doesn't have that kind of mesh bit on the back, which I quite like. So I decided to upgrade to the Osprey Wren 65. This is the women's backpack. There is also the Rook 65, which is sort of the men's version. This one feels slightly more compact this way and maybe slightly wider than the men's version. I don't know if that's to sort of make way for the, like, men have a longer back. I don't know what the exact differences are, but one of the main differences in this is that you've got this mesh panel, which is all tensioned up, which means you get airflow in your back, which means you're not going to sweat. On a cold day, you don't want that, and you would still sweat if you've got a big heavy pack on you. So that's quite nice. It's also got this opening in here, so that you can put a water bladder inside and then have your straw coming out, which the Walker 70 doesn't have. It's quite basic like that. It's got the same sort of straps and waist strap that the old bag has, but this one has got these pockets, which is super helpful, super useful. Like, the amount of times I have to take the old pack off to get a really small item out, I know, a compass or a pen or something, and I have to go into the top pocket or the front pocket and take it out, having had it taken it off my back. And now with this, I don't even have to take it off, and it's all the little items are kind of to hand. So that's whether you've got matches in there, or your compass, or a pen, my phone, you know, whatever you can put in the small pockets. It's just easier to get to. This one has mesh pockets, which is quite a big difference compared to the other older rucksack. I mean, the zippy pockets are quite good if you want to put things away and you don't want things to fall out, but actually for easier access, if you just want to quickly grab some water, this is definitely better. Because again, you don't have to take your pack off your back, which you would have to do with the old one, or you'd have to get a buddy to get it out for you or whatever. This doesn't have a front pocket. Didn't come with one. It didn't come with any shock cord, which I don't know. I was expecting that to be an accessory on the Osprey site, but it doesn't appear to be. So we've just gone on eBay and bought some cheap shock cord and some of those little pulley thingies. So we'll make our own, because then you've got that extra bit of hold to put something else in. Another major difference is this comes with integrated rain cover, which is pretty big, so you can get it over, if you've got a mat or whatever hanging off the back of your rucksack, you can get it over that as well, which is, makes such a difference. I didn't use any rain cover for that. Again, when I was 15, didn't know that was the thing. So yeah, I guess if I'd used it a lot more, I would have got like a mouldy kind of bag. But because I only used it for Duke of Edinburgh and then a few things since then, it's not been mouldy, which is quite lucky. Obviously with this, I'm not going to have that problem because I've got a rain cover. The bottom section to get your sleeping bag in is a bit small. It could do with being a touch bigger really, because I can't get my sleeping bag in there. However, the divider panel inside, I think you can actually open it up. I haven't actually tried yet, but it does have adjustable straps in it, so I'm assuming you can take it off, or at least open it up. So if I wanted to, I could just stuff it from the top, which is not ideal because you kind of want to take it from the bottom, but you know, you work with what you've got basically. Again, like I said, I'd have to get a smaller sleeping bag, like a down sleeping bag, which sort of stuffs a lot smaller. The opening on this one is way bigger. I don't know whether that's because it's made for women, so it's wider and squatter, not sure, but the opening's huge compared to my old one. Get all sorts of things in there, and it's got like this strap inside so you can really squash your stuff down, which is quite handy, which my old one doesn't have. And then it's got all the usual straps and various things to adjust it, and on the back you can adjust. It's a slightly different system. It's like a pin system. You can pull out and replace it where it suits for your body length, whereas that's kind of a Velcro job. So yeah, I think when I bought mine, the really technologically advanced stuff or the lighter weight stuff was just super money, and it wasn't in my price range. When I was 15, and for God's sake, it's not like I could go out and spend 200 quid on a pack. So for what I needed it for, it was perfect. And obviously now it's moved on quite a bit, and you can get quite a good selection of backpacks for good money, and they're lightweight and they have good tech in them, like these mesh panels and this H2O, this water bladder situation. So yeah, I've taken this out a couple of times now, and it certainly does what it needs to do. I'm really happy with it. It's really comfortable, which is good. So if I do any longer sort of walks to a camp and then walk back or whatever, if I do like a week walking, because we're thinking about going to Scotland maybe next year, then it definitely ticks all the boxes. So another major upgrade, which was desperately needed, was my walking boots. So these are my old 21-year-old Nomads. And as you can see, they're fairly well worn, and they've to the point where they've actually got holes in the backs which rub on my feet. Not massively great for comfort. And I've put some insoles, just cheap ones from Asda in, and as you can see, the bottom's all worn away as well. And they're not padded at all. They're completely hard, which you start to get like pain on the bottom of your toes and like soreness in your like feet pads and stuff, which is not great. I don't think they were ever padded or anything. It's not like they've worn down over time. I don't think they've ever been padded. I think they've just been hard from day one. So how I did 5 days of Duke and Vedabras gold in them, I do not know. So that's them. And then obviously like you've got the laces and stuff, but they're all frayed and a bit knackered. But yeah, they've seen better days. You've also got where the boot sole is coming away, which is not fantastic for, I mean, they've still got sand in them from Walton. Should probably do something about that really, but they're not, if I go in a big bit of water, they're not the most waterproof now because of this kind of coming away of the sole, which is a shame. I mean, I would happily have worn them longer, but I think 21 years is good enough. They've got their money's worth. You got the same with this. Yeah, they're not too. Yeah, obviously the backs are all. They've kind of all collapsed a little bit on itself, so that kind of rubs into the back of me as well. Not great. Yeah, this Nomad company doesn't seem to exist. Again, we've done a Google search and I can't find even resale stuff. I couldn't find anything, not even with that branding. So whether they exist or not, I don't know. There is literally no information other than the brand on the inside. Well, the brand's on the front actually, but usually they come with like a label or something on the inside, so you kind of know a bit more information about them, where they were made and such. But there's literally nothing inside there. It's just the boot. But they have got very recognisable Vibram soles. The soles are brilliant. They're not going anywhere, but unfortunately the boots themselves are starting to degrade. So I've upgraded to some Scarpa boots, and then these are the new Scarpa Terra GTX boots that I've just bought. Well, got for Christmas actually. Thanks, Mum and Dad. And they've got this kind of Gore-Tex top rather than my old leather top, which is quite cool. And they're comfort fit, which means they've got squishy bottoms. So everybody likes a squishy bottom. So yeah, hopefully these will serve me well. I'm not sure that I'll get 21 years out of them like my last pair, but you never know if I look after them properly, keep them clean, and keep the leather fed and polished. Should be all right. Should keep me going for. I mean, I'm happy for 10 years to be honest, but 21 years would be nice. Hello, puppy. You need some boots as well, don't you? So that's all there is to say about them really. It's sort of the usual. They're pretty traditional leather walking boots with the sort of hooks and the leather and all that sort of jazz. Made in Romania apparently. So that's my side-by-side old versus new comparison. Hopefully we'll be doing a walk soon and maybe a sort of camping adventure in the next couple of weeks. I hope, depending on the weather of course, because I mean I don't mind a bit of rain, but we've got the dog as well, so we can't just set off in the rain. We have to make sure the dog's happy and the dog's not freezing the tits off. She does like being warm, she doesn't like the rain at all. Are you going to review these items for me? Oh, no, you're going to come give me licks instead.